And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that very short break as we have returned with our second last series of the night. Welcome to an elimination match. It all comes down to this. One of these two players will be eliminated from Masters Coliseum. Will it be Oliveira or Classic? It comes down to this one best of three. Oh boy. The pressure is on. Our tournament life is on the line. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have Oliveira for CranKy Gaming. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Korean Protoss player for Twisted Minds, Classic. And if you are in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on how you think this series will unfold, on how you think this series will turn out. Here we go. Again, we only have two best of threes remaining here tonight to wrap up round 4 of Masters Coliseum. Only 2 series left. Oh boy. And this also goes to show how brutal this tournament is. Honestly, both Oliveira and Classic are amazing players. I would love to see more of them. I would love to see them both advance on, but only one can. There's only room for one of these two players left in Masters Coliseum. There can be only one. And we'll see what direction this takes us in. Again, typically Oliveira, he has been a little bit more aggressive in TvPs as of late. That's been very much so in the face of his opponent. Likewise, so is Classic. So we'll see how these styles do collide. As the Probe Scout's going to be coming in, getting eyes on the opener, it is going to be double gas from Oliveira. Going to be a faster factory, a delayed CC on the low ground. So something more aggressive from our Terran player. Ooh, as that SCV takes a lot of damage. Okay, get out of here, Papi. Get out of here. Oops. Here we go. We are going to be settling in. Again, it's going to be a standard opener out of Classic, something more economic. Just going to be a gate expand into the Cyber Core. So standard stuff there out of our Protoss player. Meanwhile, my eyes are on Oliveira. With this faster factory, what do we invest in? What do we invest into? We have one Reaper. We haven't really gone into additional Reaper production. We have the reactor on the way for potentially an add-on swap. I'm picturing Cyclones, but we'll see. As we have our command center on the way. Getting into our 1-1-1. And we have our tech of choice. Interesting here on Golden Aura. So, traditionally, something like a Stargate opener is reserved for larger maps. You know, very defensive maps like Hecate, for example, Radisson Station, Alcyone as well. To go for this on Golden Aura feels quite bold, just because of how short the rush distance is. We have seen a lot of aggressive builds in TvP on this map. Just because once you get some momentum, you can just keep on going and keep on pushing. So this feels a little bit greedy from Classic. Now again, I mean, Phoenix play or Stargate opener into Phoenixes, they do give you map control. Once you build up a good Phoenix count, you can shut down drop play, that is true. But when it comes to early pushes though, they aren't the most ideal unit to defend. Just because they're relying on energy, they're energy-based units. And things can get very intense very quickly. Here we go, Phoenixes are on the way. We have a safety shield battery here in between the bases, outside of the natural. And Oliveira is going for a very early drop. Interesting. Okay, it's going to be not just a double Widowmine drop, it's going to be Widowmines alongside Marines as well. Now, the goal here is that the Widowmines zone away the army of Classic, and the Marines, they go to town on the workers. This is an opener that has been, I want to say, popularized by Maru. Maru was doing this quite often last year. Maru alongside some of the other Korean Terran players. And here we go, Oliveira diving into that main base. Going for the drop, going for those Widowmines Marines as well. And again, we don't want to waste these shots. We don't want to waste the mine shots on workers. Reaper likewise dipping into the natural. And we may not be killing workers, but we are denying so much mining time. There it is, one adept goes down. We just get the hell out of there. We evacuate with what we have left. Reaper into the mineral line here at the natural as well. Can we get some of the Phoenixes? We can. Phoenix gets picked up. Oliveira getting a lot of damage done here. He kills 2 probes, a Phoenix, an Adept, and a lot of lost mine time in the main base. This drop has been worth it. Has very much so been worth it here for Oliveira, and the aggression doesn't end because he's rallying everything across the map, the Marines and the Liberator as well. And this is what I was worried about. I spoke about this map here, because of the short rush distance by ground, once you get momentum, you don't stop. And Phoenixes, they have a hard time assisting. They pick up a Cyclone, they do shut it down. We do catch some of the reinforcements, but we drop into the main. And the probes are exposed. Oh god, the workers, they're forced to fight for a moment. 4 or 5 workers go down. I don't know what I saw to say 12. It's been a long day, Pop. It's been a long day. We will shut down this Liberator, but we focus on another one of those Stalkers. Another 2 Stalkers go down. Good trades here by Oliveira. Ooh, as we get the 7th probe. And 8 workers do go down. Don't walk into the mic. And as a result, Oliveira, he does have an economic lead. The worker counts are similar, that is true, but we have mules on top of that. So Oliveira looking quite strong here in his worker count. Behind this, working towards stim and combat shields. Now, bearing in mind, because of this drop play, ideally this was designed to do a little bit more, just because tank production has been delayed. Stim was delayed as well. Oliveira still building himself up. We have 1 tank here at the natural, but only a single tank. And Oliveira is just building up towards the mid game. Meanwhile, Classic takes the 3rd, and is working towards his Colossi. Now, what I should also emphasize here, as the Phoenixes do get into the main base, or they will get some workers, is that this 3rd base from Classic was delayed. It's a very late 3rd base from the Protoss, so again, just another kind of small win in favor of Oliveira. To delay that 3rd for as long as he did. Meanwhile, Phoenixes, they dip into the natural, they get 5 worker kills. Not too bad, pretty good actually. We could even get more. Uh-oh. Oliveira, he's being pulled apart a little bit here as we get another SCV. Another 2 SCVs on Oliveira. He's throwing caution to the wind. He's taking a bit too much damage here. He's going to be moving out. Does almost catch a Phoenix. But that is going to be 7 worker kills. And suddenly, the damage that Oliveira dealt across the map, it's kind of been equalized. Classic takes a worker lead. So very nice counter damage done there by those Phoenixes. Meanwhile, Oliveira is committed. He does have Disable on that Raven. He does have Interference Matrix. So he can shut down some of those Colossi. Goes for the scan. Pushing towards the natural. Classic going to be able to rotate over in time. He does have a shield battery. He does have an overcharge. Does have the overcharge available. Oh! Do lift up the tank. Mine shot going to be going off the tank. Is going to be barely saved. Clutch moves there by Oliveira. I spoke too soon as the tank still goes down. Oliveira still very committed here. Is going to be pushing. We get 1. We get 2 disables. No, we misclick. We get one of the Colossi, but the other does escape. Oh my god. Oliveira slipping up a little bit here, fumbling the ball, and is going for his 3rd base on location. Again, I don't think this 3rd wasn't, like, I don't think we really wanted to get into the 3rd. Like, we were so aggressive here by Oliveira. He wanted more damage, but now forced to expand. He comes in from the right-hand side, gets a shield battery at least, gets a Phoenix. Mine's getting within range. This triple drop into the natural, getting a lot more done though. A lot of workers going down. Classic, can he keep up? Uh-oh. As we have a drop in almost every single base. Mine shot's going to be going off, and probes are falling left and right. There's the 12. 14 probes go down. We can go for the Forge. And the Classic is being pulled apart at this point. Completely out of position. He's trying to rotate over, but the Forge is denied. We do shut down the Twilight Council and the main base. The Nexus falls. Big pickoffs here by Oliveira, getting 19 probes as well. And Classic can barely keep up. Things were looking a little bit dire, but the drop play here from Oliveira just getting out of hand. Even the Colossi getting stuck on top of each other. And with that, Oliveira regains his lead, and a massive lead at that. He's not just ahead in workers, he's ahead in tech. And Classic, he has nothing to support his army. He's got Colossi, yes, but no Blink Stalkers, no Charge Lots. These are slow lots here underneath the Colossus. What can he do? How can he fight with this? How can he push in? He can't. But he has to. Getting into a macro game from this point, especially after losing the main base, I mean, the main is dead. It's not there anymore. We are all in. We have to commit. It's all or nothing. Even with slow lots, it's all we have. It's our only option. Here we go. Classic is pushing. Can he pull off a miracle? Can he somehow make this army work? He is ahead in army supply. That is true. Does have a couple of Phoenixes for lifts. He does have 3 Colossi. That's a lot of Colossus. Here we go. Classic forcing his way in, but there's a lot of Vikings lying in wait. Going straight for the Colossi as well. The boys are being pulled. The first Colossus is going to be going down. We do juggle back. Classic is getting damage done. He is pushing through. But where's the anti-air? The Vikings still going ham. They almost bring down the Phoenixes. Oliveira, he may have lost a lot of workers, but he can afford to lose workers. That's the difference here. He can afford to lose SCVs as he's building up his army. Classic, though, can still make this work. Still has 2 Colossi. Who needs charge? Let's be real. As we are pushing on in. Big EMP here on the army. And the Vikings, they're going ham. They bring down the prison. They bring down the Colossus. The boys have pulled another 20 SCVs go down, but we shut down the army. And there's nothing left here for Classic. He did do a lot of economic damage, though. He killed 43 SCVs. Can he recover? Is it possible? I don't think so, but I mean, we're going for it. Warping the Stalkers, we have a Disruptor on the way. Oliveira does have a supply lead. He's down to 21 SCVs. But Oliveira should still be in a good position here. He should still be able to take a fight. Here comes the Disruptor. Can Classic hold? Uh-oh. How goes the Nova? It's not going to connect. Nova will not connect. The army is pretty overstimmed. The medevacs are out of energy. Overcharge is being popped. We're trying to work our way through it. Are we overextending, though? As we dive on the Stalkers. One after the other. They're going down the Viking lands as well. We have another Disruptor. Up. Never goes off. Classic, he's holding. He's barely holding on. And Oliveira, he's in a pretty rough position here. He's gonna be losing a medevac. Like, the quality of his army is there, but he doesn't have an economy. I do think, though, that given time, Oliveira will recover faster. Like, he has 4 CCs. Like, he's got 4 CCs making 4 workers at a time. He has Ghosts. Classic still doesn't have a Twilight Council, still doesn't have any upgrades. Like, this should still be good for Oliveira. It's very close, though. Like, it's very scrappy. It's uncomfortably close. Like, the reality is that if Classic connects with 1 Nova, like, mate, Disruptors don't need upgrades. 1 good Nova, and Classic can win a fight and snowball from there. Twilight Council's on the way. I still want to give the edge to Oliveira, very much so. Classic is still recovering. Again, still 0 upgrades for Classic, other than Extend Thermal Lance, of course. But Disruptors have potential. We can see that Oliveira, he's recovering in that worker count. Disruptor's trying to sneak by. Oh, he wants to catch the army. Is he looking? Oh no! He is. The numbers go up. He catches a Ghost. Good pickoff. It's not massive, but 1 Ghost. That's a good trade here for Classic. So Oliveira, he's just being forced back. As he has been amassing more Marines, more Marauders, has those Ghosts as well for EMPs. Dark Shrine is on the way. We're going for Blink Stalkers, not Charge Lots, as our tech of choice for Classic. Now, pushing into disruptors is always a difficult thing to do. There's 4 disruptors. 4 Novas are available. He's going for it. Going for the dive. Oh, 1 disruptor gets focused down. The other Novas will be connecting. They graze the army, but no major connections. Good splits there out of Oliveira. And here we go. He's still on forward. No charge lots. Do you have an overcharge? Going to be forcing Oliveira back, but he has an insane army right now. And Classic does not. Comes out with another disruptor. Easy connection, but we deny the 4th. Oliveira waiting for reinforcements. Then he can rotate around. Oliveira still in the driver's seat. Classic still just now finishing Blink. We got charge on the way. Can we recover? Classic has been on the road to recover here for the past like 5 minutes, but we're getting there. Oh. 1 Marauder goes down to the Nova. We have 2 more disruptors left. Zella dropping to the main base, we do deal with it. So far, good dodges here against those Novas. Zella run back comes in, we go for the dive, big EMP. Big EMP on the army liberators, they're going ham. 17 probes go down. In the midst of this battle, Classic's economy is being annihilated. Losing so many workers. Novas will connect with 1 ghost, but once again a clutch split there. GG gets called. Oliveira snowballs out of control, and he will take game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Again, Classic, he was at death's door for a lot of that game. I was impressed by how well Classic was like surviving. Like, he was treading water, but he almost looked like he was swimming. Like, oh my god. Things got uncomfortably close when Classic went all in, when he broke the natural and killed 40 SCVs. But again, because Oliveira was on 4 CC, he could recover faster. He just needed time. Oliveira just needed time to just build up his economy again, get back into his Marine Marauder Ghost. Classic was just so far behind there. Despite killing 40 SCVs, wasn't enough. Was not enough damage. The disruptors were a good idea, but we did lack that big connection. We were like, yo, there's potential for a comeback. There was. But we were heavily reliant on those Purification Novas and was not good enough. With that, we're getting ready for game 2. And as a reminder, this is an elimination match. 1 player will bow out from Master Coliseum. Who's it going to be? Oliveira is 1 game away from winning it all here. Classic needs to fight back here and now to force that ace match. Again, Classic is one of the best Protoss in the world. He's top 2 in Korea and definitely up there amongst the international scene. But has been struggling in this tournament. Has been struggling, and here we go. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have Oliveira for CranKy Gaming. And in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss Classic for Twisted Minds. Here we go. Here we go. So we are going to be easing into this. Again, Alkione is quite a large map. There's a lot of bases to take. Very long rush distance by ground can lead to very long games. But as I mentioned leading into game 1, both Oliveira and Classic are very aggressive by nature. As we saw in the last game, like Oliveira was hyper aggressive with this opener, going for his 1-1-1 mine marine drop, killing a lot of workers early on, and just keeping the pressure up, just non-stop aggression out of Oliveira. It did almost kill him. It almost killed Oliveira, but again, just very high octane game. It's how he typically approaches this matchup. Typically. But again, because of the map, because it's a little bit more macro-oriented, we'll see how our players adjust to the map. Meanwhile, Probe Scout is going to be coming in. Classic once again getting a read on the double gas opener. As I just mentioned, Oliveira is going double gas into a faster factory. Once again, a more aggressive opener out of Oliveira, as Classic will be expanding. Just to gate expand into the Cyber Core. Nothing too wild. We do settle into this. The question becomes, You know, last game we did have that 1-1-1 like marine mine drop. What do we have here in game number 2? Do we invest into Cyclones? Cyclones, they have a place here in TvP as well, not just TvT. Cyclones can pose a threat early on, especially Cyclone drops. Could also go for something more traditional, like just a mine drop into our expansions. Could be more committed with an armory. We'll see. As the first Reaper does get across the map, does get eyes on the expansion. And once again, Classic going for a Stargate opener. Now, this makes a lot more sense on Alcyone. If you remember, I was really concerned for Classic whipping this out on Golden Aura just because how small the map is, and apparently for good reason. As Oliveira was able to take advantage of Classic's opener. Here on Alcyone, I think this is a lot safer for Classic. He has a lot more room to breathe, a lot more room to get into his critical mass of Phoenixes and getting into Colossus production behind it. And Classic should be a lot more comfortable. Meanwhile, Oliveira is going for Cyclones. He's going for a Cyclone opener. Ooh, getting ready for an add-on swap as well. I'm curious if this is going to be for Raven or even Banshee play. Banshee is not unheard of in this matchup. See as we're building up that Marine count. Tech Lab is finishing up. And we are not going for an add-on swap. That is a very fast... No! That's a very fast tank, and we get a full scout. That was a big moment. A big scout there by Classic. He slips into the main base. He saw not just the CC, he saw the tech lab of the factory. He saw the factory building. He saw that there wasn't an add-on swap. Immediately, shield battery. Shield battery's on the way. Really fast tank production here from Oliveira, and Classic is aware. So it's going to be a tank drop from our Terran player. Classic is preparing back at home. Amassing his Phoenixes, of course. He should be getting to a safety Immortal back at home as well. Not rushing into Colossus with that robo. And Oliveira is going to be pushing. Now again, even though the move out hasn't been seen, Classic is aware of the push. Like, he should have been able to piece it all together. He does have he has a couple of units outside of the natural. Phoenixes come in. They go for a couple of SCVs. This is nice, but this means that we won't be able to pick up the tank. Oh. That means we won't be able to lift up the tank back at home. As Oliveira is still pushing, still committed. Liberator being rallied. Immortal just now starts. Does Classic have enough to defend? Again, the NG was spent harassing, not defending. Big tank volley goes off. We do have one Phoenix with energy to lift. The second Phoenix soon to have it as well. Tank just barely out of range of the shield battery. We have to slowly edge on closer. But the Immortal has arrived. Well, big tank shot goes off and we dive on top of the army. SCVs were pulled to help support, but it looks like we have enough. The tank is going to go down. The overcharge within range. GG gets called as Oliveira gets shut down. And Classic ties up the series 1-1. GG. GG, well played. I was concerned that we wouldn't be able to get that Immortal out in time, but the Immortal arrived. We had the shield battery in position, we had the overcharge, and that Immortal just shut that tank down so fast and shut down the army. Again, a very committed build out of Oliveira, and to lose your army like that without being able to trade, that was a big loss there for Oliveira. I do think that a big part of that, again, was the scout. Very, very crucial that Classic was able to see the build ahead of time and prepare back at home. Oh, GG, well played. I was concerned that Classic had spent too much energy across the map, but apparently not. Apparently it was fine. He had plenty of energy to work with to pick up that tank as well, or to lift up the Cyclone even. And with that, we're going to the ace match. We're going all the way to game number 3. Go. Now, as a reminder, this is an elimination match. We're going to say goodbye to one of these two players, and it all comes down to Oceanborn. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Chinese Terran player. It is Oliveira for DKZ. And in the top left, we have his opponent, Classic for Twisted Minds. And again, Oliveira has been the aggressor every single game so far. Whether it's been an all-in or just committed. I mean, even game 1 was pretty all-in from Oliveira, not gonna lie. Because he had delayed his third base for so long in game 1. But just hyper-aggression out of Oliveira It's been on Classic mainly to scout and to respond, to react to his opponent. Can he keep it up? Will Oliveira shift gears? Will he take a different approach, something more macro? The answer is no. Once again, double gas. Double gas opener out of Oliveira. He is going to be going for, once again, a faster factory. Now, as we saw, this faster factory could just be, you know, a faster mine drop, could be fast cyclones, or it could even be a rush into an early tank, like the previous game. Oliveira does have options. And again, it's going to be on Classic to determine what exactly comes out from this opener. Now, with this probe scout, he's going to confirm the double gas. So Classic has a piece of the puzzle. Is someone aware? Behind this, going to be going for his gate expand. Going to be getting into a standard opener himself. Now, every game so far, Classic has gone for Stargate play, which has been interesting to say the least. We'll see if he does so again on Oceanborn. Oceanborn does lead to a lot of aggression, and there it is! Ooh, it's going to be a 2-1-1. That is a second Rax before Starport. The Starport is going to be delayed here. Whether it's a 2-1-1 or a 3-1-1, and there it is, a third Rax has been thrown down. Very aggressive here from Oliveira. This can lead, doesn't have to be, but it can lead into a 2-base all-in. So, essentially what's happening here is that Oliveira, he's delaying his starport, which means he's delaying his medevac, he's delaying his drop play, delaying his scouting in favor of a massive army. He's going to be building up towards fast stim, fast combat shields, a lot of marines, a lot of just army in general here. So a very aggressive build from Oliveira. Oh, it's just a 1-base all-in. Sorry. I just assumed he expanded. I just oh my god. I just assumed that he had taken his natural. No, it's just a 1-base all-in, Papi. Oh my god. Last time I saw at this level of play, a player go for 1-base all-in in TvP was Gumiho last season. I think it was Gumiho on Neo Humanity. That was the last time I saw 1-base all-in here in TvP at the Korean level. We're going for it. Okay. So it's all or nothing here for Oliveira. He's going to be hitting a timing with Stim. He is most likely going to pull the boys. Like, again, like, there's nothing behind this. Like, there's no natural bases, no economy. It's all or nothing. It's going to take a while, and Classic still has to piece this together. Now, I do appreciate that we have a Robo on the way. The Robo leads into Immortals. As we saw previously, Immortal production is so important. It is going to be a Stargate opener, though. These Phoenixes are going to be less so valuable here in the defense against the Mass Marine. Again, Classic still piecing this together. He comes in, he sees lack of expansion. Big scout. Again, the base should have been taken by now, so it is a big tell that there is no expansion, and now he may sacrifice his Phoenix, but it's going to be worth it. He needs to confirm. He needs to confirm what the hell's going on. Goes into the main, and he sees everything. He sees the army, he sees 3 Raxes. He's aware. He's fully aware he's getting ready back at home. 1 shield battery is not going to be enough. We need to take this seriously. Immortals are on the way. 2 more gateways as well for warp ins. The army is coming. We're going to have an overcharge. The all-in is soon to arrive. Oh boy, we'll see if Classic can hold. He throws down another gateway. The boys are being pulled, as we mentioned. They're going to be there to repair, to buffer. Classic throwing down 3 more gateways. There we go. More shield batteries on the way, but is that going to be enough? Because that is a late shield battery. Oh boy. He will have the overcharge, at least. Phoenix is trying to pick up reinforcements. They do pick up the tank, but they will not get it. They get a Marine. They at least get a Marine. They get an SCV. You know, whatever you can get. You get 1 Marine, 1 SCV. We have force fields. We have force fields available. They will be thrown down. They do choke up the army. The tanks are within range. We have the overcharge, but the Immortal gets focused down. Big pick off. The Immortal falls, and with the death of the Immortal, there is nothing left. A handful of gateway units. We bring down the shield battery. Do we have enough to break through? There are more Stalkers. Another Immortal. The Immortal comes out just in time. We focus down the tank. We focus down. The second tank just barely survives. Oh my god. We barely bring it down. Does Oliveira have enough? He stims on forward. The boys are being pulled. Another tank arrives, and there's no more Immortals. No more immortals remaining here for Classic. GG gets called though. He runs out of steam. He holds. He doesn't need the immortal. I kind of wish we had the player cam. Classic holds on, lifts up the final tank, and he survives the one base all in. GG, Bobby. GG. And with that, Classic will make it to the playoffs. Oliveira has been eliminated from the tournament. My condolences to Oliveira. It almost worked. He almost broke through. That was so clutch. Honestly, the Immortal for Classic was the MVP. He killed 2 tanks off the back of that Immortal. 2 tanks went down from a couple of volleys from that Immortal, and that was the main bulk of the army gone for Oliveira at that point. The force fields as well were clutch, and Classic barely able to survive there. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Classic. Very well played. We'll make it to the playoffs. My condolences to Oliveira, who will be bowing out from the tournament. And with that, we have 1 series left. We have 1 best of 3 remaining here. Up next, a ZVZ between Shin and Solar. Let's go. Gonna be going on a short break, and then we have our final series to end the night. Just like the previous game, by the way, Shin and Solar is an elimination match. 1 player advances on, the other player gets knocked out. So it is all on the line. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes for that ZVZ.